Hi everyone, this is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and today's video will be the first in a series of sort of how-to videos. This one will be just describing Win My Vote, what it is, how it works. I'll walk you through a little bit of the ballot and then also explain the mission, which is building a better mousetrap and saving democracy. So there's no secret at all that money corrupts elections. There are, plenty of examples of that. There's cartoons, there's books written about it, movies made about it, TED Talks given about it, even marching in the street, and nothing seems to change. Nothing seems to work. Congress is at an all-time low as far as approval and an all-time high in reelection. Um, the reason that nothing changes is because we voters don't have a place to organize as voters and hold candidates and elected officials accountable. We plan on changing that. And what we did is we really looked at the election department's voter guide and said, this thing hasn't changed in 100 years. This was supposed to be a nonpartisan voter guide, everything that we needed to be a well-informed voter. So we think that they've fallen down and kind of, done it on purpose. So with that, we sort of started that we looked at that as a starting point, and then from there we decided, okay, what would we do if we were in charge? Well, obviously it would need to be online and mobile and social and interactive, and it would also have to be open to the candidates to build profiles. So this is what we came up with. We kind of threw everything onto one site, everything that we all wanted. And for example, candidates would build their own profile. So it would be live and interactive in real time, and it would be accessible to all candidates equally. The candidate would simply click on a profile. They would build the profile with their existing content and videos. They could obviously create new ones, but the way we've set it up and with the use of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, we think that the candidates already have all that stuff in place. It's just a matter of putting it on the ballot. So with that, we would be able to click here and listen to what the candidate has to say, and then we can click through and kind of listen to and compare all the candidates side by side, and then we'd be able to scroll down, look at their issue statements, see some other content that they've built. We could click here and see endorsements, and when we wanted to, we could click straight through and watch video endorsements and written endorsements, and we could continue to do this. And when we decided, hey, you know what, I think I've made up my mind now, I really like this candidate, we would just favorite that candidate. We could also then share that candidate on social media. And when we went back to our ballot, that candidate would be right there. So we would go through and we'd start populating our candidate, and you would see the percentage right here. So you'd see how your candidate was doing. You could comment on the race, you could watch debates, you could do a variety of other things, all from this site. Propositions and measures, we'd have those as well, and they would function the same way. So you could click on that. You want to learn about Proposition 67. You click through, you can actually see the original writing, the full text. And here you'd have what we call trusted sources, groups and organizations and individuals that you trust, which you opt into. You'd be able to see their position on this proposition. And again, they have a video, you click straight through, you watch the video, and then this could even be a friend of yours that decided to, they're really into recycling and they wanted to create a written or a video endorsement for this proposition. They would create it, they could upload it, real simple, and then you would then see it. So you could then click on it and listen to what Sarah has to say. And if you like it, you could then vote yes on that. And when you go back to your ballot, you would see here that it's indication, that you're voting yes on that. So trusted sources are groups and organizations and even individuals that you trust, again, that you opt into, that you're able to see their ballot and see their endorsements. And the way those work are kind of two different ways. One would be as a trusted source, and I'll jump out of here and give you a quick demo of that. As you're live on the site here and you're clicking on the candidate, you would be able to see all of the candidate's endorsements, again, that the candidate has chosen and that are part of your trusted sources. So I would be able to click straight through here and hear what they have to say.
Hillary Clinton is intelligent, patient, disciplined, knowledgeable. She's smart. She's a hard worker. She is a very, very multiverse person.
Yeah, and then I could, have a variety of trusted sources here. So, for example, they don't have to be groups and organizations. Again, it can just be a friend that feels like he wants to, endorse.
Hillary Clinton. I will be voting for Hillary Clinton. I avoid talking politics on this channel, on this forum, because politics are divisive. There's always two sides, Republicans and...
Yeah, and then with that, I can favorite the candidate here. And then when I go back to my ballot, you'll see that that candidate is favorited there. Let me jump back here. The other way that you can use trusted sources, or that trusted sources function on the site, is through their own homepage, which would act as a voter guide, for that group or organization or individual. So, for example, I would click on this group and I would be able to see all of the group's endorsements and favorites. In this race, this would be my ballot. Oops, sorry about that. This would be my ballot, so I would be able to see all of the endorsements that they've made on my ballot. And if I agreed with them, I would click straight through here and that would just update on my ballot. If I wanted to, kind of like a straight party ticket choice, I could just say I really like all of these groups' choices. I just want to vote, like them. So that would be updated as well. That goes for all of the propositions. If they have positions on all the propositions, those would go straight through to my ballot as well. So now, when I'm back on my ballot and I click on propositions, I would have those all filled out. And let's say I kind of change my mind, and if I don't want to do that. I want to, read a little bit more about these. I can always just go up here, and change my mind, and then go back up to the top here. Then when I've filled out my entire ballot and I've shared and I've commented and I've looked at endorsements and I've changed my mind and done all that stuff, now I can just, click here, which is just my favorites. And I can print out my favorites if I want. I can find my polling place. This will give me nice turn by turn directions to my polling place, as well as the hours of operation of the polling place. And then I can grab my cell phone and I can go vote. So that's it. In this part, I usually would do more of a live demo on the site, but here I'll just finish up with mentioning kind of the state of the product. In 2016, we did the National Association of Student Council, which was 1,100 incoming high school seniors, as well as the National Student Parent Mock Election. That's 5 million teachers and students throughout the country. We did 113,000 online in one day, and it went really well, and I'd be happy to share any of that information with anyone. That was the time where we really decided to make it a company, make it a product, and start looking at going out to the general public. Prior to that, we were just building a really cool mock election for my kids' middle school, and then one for these organizations. And after that, we decided that, hey, this could be something for general use. Right now, we are still looking for investment anywhere between 25 and 100,000 to give up 5% to 20% equity. That will get us, I would say, get us into a good launch within a couple of months for the 2019 elections, and then rolling into the 2020 primaries. And again, I'd love to talk, with anyone that's interested in that. There's a lot more elections than people realize. This is just 2019 with these cities. There's millions of voters. We'd love to have all of them with, a Win My Vote ballot, interacting, sharing with their friends, making endorsements and favorites, finding their polling place, checking on their voter registration status, etc. As far as the business model goes, there's about 500,000 elected offices in the U.S. between primaries and general elections. We're estimating about 4 million candidates. We think that a site like this, after a couple of years, would be generating many, many more candidates than that. But as of right now, we're going to use the number 4 million candidates over a 4-year cycle. At $99 to $499 per candidate per election, the numbers are almost 400 million and almost 200. Almost 2 billion. So the revenue model and the business model are there. Candidates spend much more than that on their campaign. $99 or up to $500 is a fraction of what they plan to spend on their campaign. So we think there's a lot of room even there. Also, this is only one revenue model. There's a variety of other ones that I'd be happy to talk with anyone about. So thank you so much. Hope that all made sense, and would love to talk with anyone that's interested. Thanks. Bye.